recovered from his concussion. And he called me up and he goes, what the heck? And I looked at him and I said, all right, Tony, how tall up is the bar into the courtroom? Standard is 32 inches. That's what this was. If you raise the bar to 44 inches, you can't jump it. You give the bailiffs time to get in the way. It's the same logic when you design your office. Put a little bay there so that your reception, so people can't just hop over the fence and get at your reception. And if you're like me, what you might want to do is build a nice sturdy desk for your receptionist so that if somebody who's really irate comes in, she can dive underneath. Now, this takes a little bit larger knee space. Knee hole, they call it. Make it a little bit wider, a little bit longer, so she can get under there. You know, and hide. Now, of course, you have a panic button. Simple engineering tools. Remember when I first came to your office? And we were sitting there and I said, boy, this is really well designed. Because you had the receptionist area there, and the only way to get back to the lawyers was through a door. Well, that's a really good idea. Okay? And the only problem I had was that you had a hollow core door that you could, you know, stick through. But you put a heavy solid wood door in there, you know, with a long latch. All of these things are essentially costless, at least on a scale of, you know, major redesign. How much does it cost to put in a hardcore door instead of a hollow core door? Yeah. How much does it hurt, you know, to put in a wall like your office has? You can't get in. Always have a back way out. Again, your office has that.
Well, you haven't been to our new office.
Oh, okay. I haven't been to your new office. Your old office had it. You know, where everybody came in one way, but there was a small door down at the other end there. So if somebody came crashing in, you know, somebody could run out the back door. These are things which are not expensive. They don't require muscle structure. They don't require expertise. They just require some forethought. Here's another one. If you have a concern, even a remote one, that somebody is looking for you with a gun, and they might shoot you through a window, you can buy I forget what they're called, but it's like window tint that you can put on the inside of the windows so you can look out, nobody can see in. It essentially mirrors your windows. I think Office Depot sells this stuff for like, you know, $4.95 a square foot. And it just, iron it on. That judge in Nevada who was shot from it, he was in his office looking at a window. Some guy who had just lost a matrimonial law dispute. And he had just lost this ruling by the judge, goes out, gets his deer rifle out of the thing, climbs the building across the street, looks in, sees the judge standing in front of the window, shoots the judge. Boom. Thank God the judge lived, thank God. But just mirror the window so you can't see if somebody's sitting there. This stuff is not expensive. If you get a package that you don't expect, have some office procedures for stuff. Have a way of every week you should sit down with your staff. Now, listen, we got this really contentious case coming up here, Mr. Smith versus Mrs. Smith. We're representing Mr. Smith. If Mrs. Smith loses, she might go ballistic. She's been very unstable. Pay attention. Somebody sends you a package and it's Mrs. Smith on the return address. Now, I would be real hesitant about opening that package. Now, a few years ago I used to say, well, if it's not real thick, it's just a letter, don't worry about it. But these days, there's all this other stuff that can go in there. I would be real hesitant. You need office procedures here to tell your staff what's going on and who's feeling brittle. By the way, yes, I talked about Mrs. Smith. She's on the other side. Your client could get real upset too. If you lose a motion, he doesn't want you to. I suspected if I asked for a show of hands, I see the knowing giggles over there. Yeah, I suspected if there's a show of hands, but how many times, we've all had a client who says, "How dare you lose that motion? You're such an idiot." They rant and rave at you. All right, let's have a show of hands. How many of you in the past 5 years have had somebody say that to you? Be really mad at you because you lost the motion. They thought you should have won.
Oh, that.
Come on, show of hands. One, two. Yes?
They really blame the judge.
Well, see?
The judge wasn't listening to them.
It's the other side that tries to get it.
Yeah, well, guess what?
I say that.
I had one client that wanted to, I think, go after a judge. That's very,
Yeah, I mean, they don't go after judges, but they go after everybody. I've heard lots of stories about, the other side going after their own lawyer. Their other side going after you. It's brittle. Now, let me change the subject for a second here and talk about something everybody hates talking about. The most dangerous person you are going to confront in your office is going to be somebody who is attached emotionally to your staff. Statistically, abused spouses or significant others, I'm going to use the word spouse generically, are all over the place. And you will not know that your staff is being abused until something happens. Statistically, somebody is